Hey, you. It's a blind life. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the It's a Blind Life podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who wanted to make a podcast to just talk about our lives as blind people. We talk about various topics that relate to our lives, different things that we think impacts the blind community. There's just a lot of whatever we want to talk about that week is what we talk about. And today, what we're actually going to be doing is we are going to be talking about cooking, kind of how we cook, and just, things that relate to the aspect of cooking. So I guess I'll do the kind of history of it, and Belle, of course, will chime in where she needs to. Pretty much when I was in, I think it was like late elementary school, early middle school, and Belle was very tiny. We had a lady come out to the house who taught us different life skills things. We've mentioned her, I think, in a couple different episodes, but one of the things that she taught us how to do was cooking. She taught Belle how to make eggs in the microwave. She taught me how to, I know we made pancakes. I know we made a cake.
I made a giant cookie.
You made a cookie. I forget what the one thing she taught me how to make was.
I don't know. I just know I was taught how to pour milk.
Yeah,
I made eggs in the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
And I made Dad a gigantic cookie because it was Father's Day.
Yes, and I made a gigantic, not a gigantic, but I made a cake or brownies or something. Like I know I baked something.
I don't know. I was proud of my cookie. I ignored what you did.
I know. You were very proud of that cookie.
I was.
But yeah, so it was just different little like cooking things like, hey, if you want to make something, like this is how you start to do it. And cooking for me has never been something that I've been very interested in. Neither has really baking, to be honest. I don't know. I don't enjoy it. It's not something that I find, like some people are like, oh, I love to cook. Like they just love it. That is not me. I am not that person. I wish I was that person, but it's not me. And so pretty much as I kind of grew up, I didn't do a lot of cooking. My cooking is definitely throw something frozen in the microwave or in the oven and make it and eat it. That's, definitely a lot of what I prefer. It's very rare for me to find like a recipe that I'm actually like, I can make this. This is very easy to make. Like I can do this. I'm also a very picky eater, so that doesn't help matters. It took me forever to try ramen, which I ended up really liking, but it took
till when I was in college.
For me to try ramen.
And we are 8 years apart.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, very recently ramen came into my life, and that's something that I can make pretty easily. A lot of times, like when I was younger and like helping, occasionally helping to cook, it was definitely like you make the side dishes things. So, just like opening things, putting them in the microwave, heating them up, like side dishes kind of things. There hasn't been like there's only been, 2 recipes that I can make easily. I can make grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I can make the cream chicken and rice.
Mm-hmm.
Buttered noodles has become one.
Wow, so hard.
I know. That's a big step for me.
Honestly, it
is. It is.
And that's the sad thing.
It is. It's a big step for me.
Oh, your Parmesan chicken parm that you do.
Oh yeah, I can do like a chicken parm.
A janky chicken parm,
It
but
is
it's chicken parm.
It is very janky. It is not that great, but I can do it. But yeah, no, it's just little things. I can make burgers. Yeah, I can make burgers. It just takes a while to cook them. I'm starting to get like a little bit more like things. Like for the longest time, it was grilled cheese. I can make grilled cheese. That's where we are. That is what I can do. I can make a peanut butter and jelly. But I've slowly graduated to other things that I can make. The thing is, though, is that there have been recipes that I've tried to make that they don't turn out very well. Like how I said that there's a cream chicken and rice recipe that I can make. I have to make mine on the stovetop. My mom has started to do like kind of like a casserole where she will put it in the oven and like it'll just kind of bake and do its thing. I tried to do that once and it was a mess. Like there were things that were not cooked. There were things that were super cooked. Like it did not go well. It was very bad. And that's the other thing too, is that like when a recipe goes wrong, I'm done. Like completely like done. It's one of those, I followed the recipe, I did what it said. This has turned out horrible and I'm never doing this ever again. I am very much that kind of person. So another reason why I do not cook often, because things can go wrong and that ain't it, no.
And I'm the one who probably shouldn't be cooking.
No, you do a good job of cooking.
I have no self-preservation.
You don't.
And that is my downfall.
You do not.
We say this is like jokingly, but it is 100% the truth. The amount of times I've burnt myself, cut myself, pretty much any cooking accident, I've had it at this point.
Yeah.
Minus losing like a limb.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
We have not lost a limb.
Not lost a limb or an appendage.
Yes.
But anything else, yeah, I'm not clumsy. I just no sense of self-preservation when it comes to anything in life.
No.
And that is hard in the kitchen.
Yes.
In college, so Aria, when she went to college, she went to like the normal college where she was in a dorm for her 4 years and like she had the dining hall.
Yes. I had meal plans, which thank God for meal plans because that was the only way I was going to eat.
I did not have that. What my school did was when you reached your second year, you lived in an apartment. Of course, you could have a meal plan, but I didn't like the cafeteria food. And like it wasn't worth it for me to have it. So I was just like, nope, no cafeteria food. I will make my food. I lived off of chicken Alfredo for years. For 2.5 years. Chicken Alfredo. I also started cooking. I didn't season anything. So like everything didn't have seasoning. Like no salt, no pepper, nothing. I feel so bad for the people who ate my cooking at that point in time. I did learn seasoning. I've learned seasoning.
You have.
I do season things. Sometimes to the detriment.
That one time you put so much on that it was just like, oh my gosh, my mouth is burning.
I'm making turkey burgers and I put too much season on. They were so bad.
They were so bad.
They were so bad.
So bad.
And then it took me, 2 years to make a good orange chicken recipe. Took me 2 years to perfect it. I now do I don't know if this is the actual name for it. I know it off Pinterest because that's where I get recipes. Marry Me Chicken. It's like a cheesy chicken.
Oh, it's so good.
It is really good.
And we've started adding rice with it, which is just so good.
Yeah.
Like chef's kiss. It's so good.
Adding rice with it is really good. I'm trying to think, what else do I make? I make pancakes. I'm good at pancakes.
You're good at pancakes.
I'm good at pancakes.
I'm good at, like I said, I'm good at grilled cheese. Grilled
Yeah.
cheese is my thing. You are very good at pancakes. You're good at the chicken.
I can do hamburgers.
You do a better burger than I do. I can like prep them. Like I think I prep them very well, and I think you cook them very well. Like I think that's how it gets split up.
My whole thing with cooking, it isn't that I can't do it. It is I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And this is a me thing. This has always been a me thing. I am a person who doesn't want to do things that they deem irrelevant. Since I was a small child, food has been deemed irrelevant.
Which it shouldn't be because you
It shouldn't
do.
be, but
kind
sleep
of need
has
that.
also been deemed irrelevant since I was a child.
Yes, and you also kind of
I
need that.
also need that.
Yeah.
But we also, again, laughing and joking about this, but it is true. I hated eating food. I'm not a fan of it. In my opinion, it's a waste of my time. Same with sleeping. Waste of my time. This is why I cannot be left to my own devices. I will starve to death. Yeah, I don't like, so like cooking is just more of a waste of time than just eating. But at the same time, I'm not like Arya, who can just do a bunch of stuff in the microwave and do a lot of frozen things. Again, this is just a me thing. And nobody come for me, because I know what a lot of people are going to probably be like, oh, you're only saying this because you're a female, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not. I have always liked healthy foods. From a small child, my
she has.
favorite food has been salad. I am not a health person.
No, yeah, you are very strange. Like, you will eat well, like, when left to your own devices.
I eat well,
You do eat well.
just not like I should.
Yeah, like, you could honestly be a vegetarian. Like,
I could.
you could.
I could survive off of being a vegetarian. The only reason I am not a vegetarian is because of other health issues.
Yeah, where you do actually
Where
need
I need
the occasional bit of meat.
iron
Yeah.
and other things that the meat provides.
Yeah, you need the protein and
I
you
need the
iron.
protein, I need the iron, I need the salt. I need, like, my body, I'm
It
a
does
unicorn.
it does not regulate itself
It
very
doesn't.
well.
It doesn't regulate. Don't know why. Apparently, I lack certain chemicals in my body that are to do things. This is also why I cannot take over-the-counter medication. But I could be a vegetarian, and I do eat very healthy.
Yeah.
Like I said, my favorite food has always been salad. Anybody can fight my mom on this, because that is literally all she craved when she was pregnant with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
And
true.
Salads have been my favorite food for as long as I can remember. Love salads. It's not because I'm a healthy, weird person. Not because I'm watching my weight. Not because I'm anything else. It is, I just like salad.
Yeah.
I like the vegetables.
Yes. Yeah. You're a very big veggie eater, whereas I will eat a lot of like fruits, like berries.
You eat more fruits than I do.
Yeah. I'm
Well, we do eat a good bit of berries.
like, berries is the only difference, I think, because like I will eat like pears, peaches, like
Yeah, you go for
I
the
go-
other fruits.
I go for,
I'm
like-
not a fruit.
everything but the melons, pretty much.
Oh, I will eat melons. I will eat melons and berries. I hate grapes. You eat grapes.
I do eat
I
grapes.
hate grapes. I think it's because I had to pull all of them off the stem for you, so now I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah,
grapes
no,
are gross.
Yeah, grapes. Yeah, I eat a lot of fruits, whereas you eat a lot of vegetables.
Yes.
I think I have inherited my father's hatred for anything green.
Which
So,
makes
like,
no sense because you can't see what's green.
but I don't like it.
But you don't.
So yeah, it
Oh, corn. You like corn. I don't like corn.
I do like corn, but
I don't like corn.
I don't like a lot of corn. Like I
I'm
used
not
to
corn.
love corn, like, and I would eat a lot of it. And now it's one of those things where it's like I can have it once every so often, and then after that I'm done.
I liked corn growing up, and then I had to get braces for jaw issues. And I've only really liked corn on the cob.
Yeah.
So then, like, I couldn't have corn on the cob, and I just did not like corn then. And now I'm just like, I don't want corn.
Nope. Yeah.
Green beans and peas, I will gladly eat. The only corn that I've had recently that I liked is that one from that restaurant.
I don't remember.
The corn pudding.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That was good stuff. And we finally found however old I am, we finally found a mac and cheese that I will eat.
Oh yeah, that's another thing she does.
I do
you
not
don't
eat-
like mac and cheese.
no.
I like mac and cheese.
Yeah. But regardless, so food aside, how do we actually cook? So, like I said, I'm a big person who can just kind of follow directions. And so that's the other thing too for me. Like if a recipe does not turn out just by following the directions that it gives me, then I get very frustrated because I'm like, I've followed this. I followed this direction. It didn't work.
Yeah,
and
that's your thing. When you do something for the first time and it doesn't come out, you rage quit.
Yeah, legitimately.
You rage quit.
I rage quit and I'm like, I'm done. I'm never doing it ever again. But like grilled cheese, it's very easy to make. And I've gotten very good at like timing it and like by listening to like how the like bread, or I guess how the butter is like sizzling in the pan. I can kind of get a good sense of like when it is to flip it instead of actually timing it. Again, for these other recipes that I make, a lot of it is like, I know the timing, I know what I need to add in. I know how long I need to cook it. And by the time that's all said and done, it's done. And we can go ahead and eat, like making the cream chicken on the stove. Boiling the pasta and stuff. Like those are very much things that they follow a similar rule set every time. So it comes out the same every time. Whereas how, like for the things that you do, Belle, that are more definitely like following the recipe, but then you kind of have to experiment and try other things. Like how do you do that?
I followed the recipe once. Okay, so the first time I'm going to use my orange chicken because that's like the first time I've done it. I was in college and I was really craving orange chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no way to get said orange chicken. So Pinterest gave me a healthy orange chicken recipe, which I was like, I'm doing it. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm doing. And I followed that recipe. I did make a mistake. I was only supposed to add a teaspoon of ginger. I added a tablespoon.
Whoops.
Yeah, that was my bad. So it was really hot.
Mm-hmm.
And our father can't handle hot spices. And so because of that, me and Arya both have a weaker palate in terms of spice and heat. We cannot handle it. Like, it makes us sick. Like, the first time I had jalapenos on accident in college, I had a upset stomach for, like, 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, we can't handle it.
We can't handle spicy
Physically
things.
cannot handle it. And so when I made it the next time, I, like, had, like, I wish I knew what happened to them. And these little things, and it was, like, a pinch, a dash, like, little measuring spoons that were of those.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just did a pinch of ginger because I was like, I need to be able to eat this nonsense. And it turned out okay. And so then I was like, okay, well, I think that this needs to be just a bit more sweet because, like, I could taste more so of, like, the soy sauce in it. So the next time I made it, I just added just a tiny bit more honey and a bit more orange juice than the recipe said.
Mm-hmm.
And and I just kept doing that. I was like, okay, this doesn't taste right, do this. That's the same thing that I did for the Marry Me chicken. When I first made it, it was for the family back home after our mom had surgery, so I was taking on cooking, and I made it, and it turned out decent.
It turned out really well.
It turned out well.
Mom didn't like it, but
She
all
didn't
liked
like it, but I learned from a mistake of when it said to do the sauce a certain way, I didn't do the sauce a certain way. Next time I made it, I did the sauce a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, this. I did it for the most part. And then finally when we were down here and I made it like the next to last time I've made it, I understand what it meant by when it was giving me the directions for the sauce.
Yeah.
And it came out really good. So it's a lot of trial and error and just taking the time and being like, okay, I need to add this. Okay, I need more of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of that.
Yeah. And see, like, the thing is, like, as much as you don't like cooking, you have the patience for that. Like, you really do. To, like, just be like, oh, I need to make this better next time. I need to tweak this. Whereas me, I'm just like, it didn't cook, so I'm throwing it across the room and I'm done.
Yeah. Whereas I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. This can be fixed by XYZ. But again, the only bad thing with me cooking is I'm a terror.
Yeah. And see, like, the thing is like, to try to explain, like, how we cut things, or to try to explain, like, you have a lot, like, you are fearless when it comes to, like, knives.
I do not listen to what I'm supposed to do. This is where the no self-preservation comes in hard. I just cut and I just go
Yeah, but
for
you
it.
do it, like, you're normally, like, very much in control, though. Like, you know
I
where
am.
your
I am
hand
pretty good
is, you
at
know
it.
where your knife is.
The
Like,
only time, like, I will admit, there have been times where I have nicked myself. I have cut off fingernails. I have done that. Or, like, sliced into my
so
fingernails.
close.
Yeah, I've gotten close. But that's when I have, like, nails.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really paying attention. And, like, I don't have anything on my nails.
Yeah.
I kind of lose track. And I'm just like, this is fine. And then I just slice a bit into the nail. And then I have to just cut my nail. And it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I prefer, like, having, like, scissors. Like,
Yeah,
and
you do
actually,
scissors.
like, because I am a very nervous cook. Like, I do not want to be burned. I do not want to be like accidentally like nicking myself with a knife. Like, I am very, very careful when it comes to trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's a self-preservation.
yes, I have. I think I have all the self-preservation.
Honestly, I
and
think
I
you do.
gave you none of it.
Honestly, because like even whenever I was at a program where like there was a lot of the visually impaired students from all the districts within our area got together and we were taught how to cook. Everybody's like, oh, cut this certain way. Nope. Just going for it. I made the teachers' lives pretty miserable. Yeah. And then they trusted me on a stove. And then they were like, oh, wait a minute. We should not trust her on a stove. I was given a mixer and said, mix this. I was not trusted.
Yeah.
From early on, they did not trust me. And I guarantee you it was from my first time holding a knife. And they were just like, nope.
Yeah.
All the nopes.
Yeah. So, like, I prefer if there's something, because I know there was, like, a thing that was kind of like, it was more of like a longer bladed knife that had, like, kind of like a cutting board attached to the bottom that was in, like, a scissor form. Like, I loved that thing because it was very much just like, I can just slice it up. I prefer that to actually, like, using a knife to cut stuff because I just feel like I have more control. Like, I do not feel like I have control when I have a knife, but give me a pair of scissors, we're good. Like,
No.
I have all the control. But, like, cooking temperature wise, like temperature for meats, we have found a meat thermometer.
Oh, yeah. One of my roommates had an electric meat thermometer. That thing was my best friend in college.
Yeah.
So then when we moved here, I was like, we need an electric meat thermometer.
Yes.
We got an electric meat thermometer. It is lovely. The only thing that sucks is I do have to FaceTime the parentals for telling me if ground meat is cooked.
Yeah, when we're like browning meat.
Yeah, that's the... I'm like, I have nothing to stab to tell me a temperature. I can't tell between red and brown. I think this looks good,
Yeah.
but
We just need to double check.
we just double check.
normally we can kind of tell, but just having their like, oh yeah, that's done. Then we're just like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Because we can never be 100% sure.
Yeah.
But like meat thermometers have definitely been our best friend for cooking stuff. Like I said, just timing. Like we rely a lot on it takes 5 minutes or it takes 10 minutes. Set the timer.
We rely a lot on the time.
Yeah. And if it's not, we're just like, well, somebody lied to me, but we'll give it another couple minutes. Or there are times where we've made our own time.
Yeah, there have been times where we were just like, this sound good to you? Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, that is what ended up burning cookies this Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
burned
did
a
that.
lot of cookies.
We burned a lot of cookies.
That was very sad.
We still have other
Although
cookies.
we do. But also with the cookies though, like I'm not a good baker.
Again, that falls to me. I bake when I'm stressed.
But you
and-
do a very good job. Like that cheesecake, she made a cheesecake for Thanksgiving.
That was a good cheesecake.
It was such a good cheesecake.
It was a really good
Like it was
cheesecake.
like I need you to give me the things that we need to make it so that way we can make it again because it was just
It was a really good
so
cheesecake. I was surprised. That was my first time making a cheesecake. It turned out really good. Again, here's my other thing. I'm not a sweet person.
No, you don't make sweet. Like you don't like
I don't like a lot of sweets. I can't eat icing. It makes me sick. Most icings. I can't eat. What else can I, like? There are other like candies and stuff
There's a lot.
and sweets that I just can't eat. Like it makes me sick.
Yeah.
So like that's the kind of curse I have of I bake when I'm stressed, but I
But you
need
don't-
people to eat it.
Yeah, you don't eat a lot of it. Like you'll eat a little bit,
I'll eat a little bit, but like I can't.
but you don't eat like a lot of it.
No, I can't.
Yeah. Well, and like that was the time when we made our pepperoni rolls.
Gosh, yeah.
The pepperoni roll dough just like exploded and the pepperoni rolls were gigantic,
Yeah, we kind of
messed up.
on. We took the pre-made dinner rolls that were frozen out to thaw, and the dough said, "I'm gonna rise."
And
Rise it did.
I'm surprised it did not break the bag. Like
Honestly,
that's how
honestly,
like how puffed out this dough got. And so it was just us trying to make do with this dough.
they're gigantic pepperoni rolls.
And they turned out to be gigantic. And I sent pictures to people and they were like, they look good. And somebody else was like, it looks like they could be done a little bit more. And I was like, the bottoms look like they want to burn. Like we have waited as long as we can.
Yeah, like when you took a knife to it, like it was dark and it made like the crisp sound. So
Yeah,
we were
on the
just like,
bottom.
we're
but
going
the top,
with it.
but the top wasn't like super brown.
It wasn't golden brown.
So, but it was all cooked. So
It
we
was
were
cooked.
just like,
we ate it.
we're just gonna eat it and it's gonna be fine. And next time, we're not going to let the dough sit for that long.
That was the worst.
That was
We
the
had some
funniest.
attaching to each other. as they
Yeah, there was
baked.
one that was just like just a huge, just like straight thing because
like
it
straight log.
because it just baked together. Like it was just like, okay, well,
Yeah, that
this is what's happening. But yeah, so we are not definitely like queens of cooking by
Oh, goodness,
any
no.
stretch of the imagination.
no. There are things I won't even touch. I won't touch soup unless it's in a can. But that may be my 1 ounce of self-preservation
Yeah.
because I burn myself a lot
Accidentally.
And I'm also the person who is like, I don't want to go to the hospital
Smart.
when,
Yeah.
I should.
That's the reason we found that microwave bacon exists, and that is now what we're going to do all the time, because I do not want to burn myself. Like, burning myself on bacon seems like the literal worst idea that I could ever come up with.
I don't know what to do with the grease after. That's a lot more work than I'm willing to put in.
That too. So yeah, we definitely have we're starting to find things that it's like, okay, if we want this, we need to get this, and a little bit more like pre-made stuff. And I know that's probably not the best stuff that you can get, but at the same time, when you don't want to get burned and you're kind of limited in your abilities to begin with, you do have to rely.
When the one with the better cooking and baking ability hates to do it,
and is busy.
You got limited options.
Exactly. So, I mean, but we're stocked up, I think, for a little while yet. I know that we've got some sauces and stuff that we can, our mom made a big batch of spaghetti sauce because
and chicken noodle soup.
Because our spaghetti and our chicken noodle that we make, it's very janky. It's
the only chicken noodle soup I make is janky chicken noodle soup, and that's chicken ramen, and you add chunks of chicken, and that's it. I made it in college whenever I was sick, and I ran out of cans of chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I will not eat soup from a can.
No, you won't. You're picky.
I'm very picky. I will only eat it if it's homemade, or in the case of, so there's a dinner show in Tennessee that's called the Hatfields and the McCoys. And so they have a powdered soup mix of the soup that they serve.
Oh yeah, it's a creamy soup.
It's a creamy vegetable soup, but
Did we order more of that?
I don't think so.
But we need to get onto that.
We will. We still have one left. But it is so good. It is the best. And for me to be it's a vegetable soup and I like it, that tells you everything you need to
really
know.
Good soup.
It's so good. And so literally we make that, and it's very easy to make. It's very easy to follow the directions. And then literally I just make a crap ton of toast, and half of a loaf of bread of toast. And I just sit and dip. And it's just, it's so good. It is some of the best. But yeah, I can't do canned soup though. I just think it tastes like the can. I think it's very gross. So
I can't help you with that. I have my limits, and I don't want more second-degree burns.
that is fair. Yeah, no, I think that maybe I can kind of ask our mom how to kind of make a lesser version of the kind of soup that she makes. Because the other thing too is I don't like my soup to have a lot of vegetables floating in it.
I just don't like the potatoes.
The soup that you get at a Chinese restaurant, a chicken noodle soup that's just the noodles and the chicken and the broth, is honestly some of my favorite chicken noodle soup other than what's homemade, because it's perfect. It doesn't have all the stuff in it.
That's what we want to try to make, the shogun soup.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I forget what the actual. It's a clear broth soup or something. I forget what its actual name is, but it's really good, and it's very filling. Even though it's just liquid, it's really good.
Yeah.
So we will try that eventually.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it either, but
I'll figure it out if I can.
You'll see. The thing is too is you have the patience to scroll through Pinterest and be this.
Yeah, and then I do it, and I have this whole board. Aria, what will you eat? Well, not that. I'm oh my goodness. Just eat. Eat food, please.
I'm very picky. Oh, we can make chicken tenders. I've started to be able to do that.
Oh, yes, you do chicken tenders.
I do. I've slowly started to work my way. Like, that's the thing. Like, sitting here and like thinking about it, right? I'm like, I cannot cook a single thing. Not an iota of cooking skill I have. But like actually sitting here talking about it, I'm like, you know, we can cook a lot more than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah, we can. I just don't like it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of times we're just like, do you want to make this? Fine, I'll make that. Or, can you cook this? Fine.
Yeah, that's a lot of the...
There's a lot of like, I just don't want to. And that is why DoorDash is our best friend.
I love DoorDash.
It gets us food.
Gets me food. I don't have to cook. I don't have to deal.
We get food. But also, like, the thing is too is like, ever since we've been little, we have eaten out a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, our mom did cook a fair bit too.
She
but,
did
like,
cook a lot.
but,
Especially
like,
when we were, well,
like,
when
little.
I was really little.
Yeah.
But it got more difficult, especially as I got older, because we had Arya, who was doing XYZ, and then we had me, who was doing XYZ 8 years apart, never at the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it just...
Yeah, it got to the point where it was just like it very much for a long time, my life was, okay, we're going here, and then on our way to this other thing that we're doing, we're going to pick up some food, and then we're going to go to that place, and then on our way home from that other place, we're going to pick up some more food.
Yeah.
And like, there was just a lot of like, we're eating in the car because like we need dinner, and like, you know, we have to get food from this restaurant. Like, when Belle was dancing and she had like a forever hour days in the studio, it was very much oh look, there's a Mexican restaurant like 3 stores down from where the dance studio is.
Oh,
Let's
look,
go get
there's a
Mexican.
Chinese place right next door.
door.
There's a diner across the
Yep.
street.
Yep, it was very much we're gonna get that. We'll make sure Belle has something to eat, and like, that's what we did. Like,
Yeah, I honestly lived off of that.
yeah, there was a lot of that. And, you know, that has definitely carried over, I think, a lot to us, because we're so used to just being like, we're just going to eat out because it's just easier to have somebody else cook it, and we just order it and they bring it to us and we have food.
Yeah.
With little to no effort. Like, yes, you have
Yeah.
to pay for it, but like, if you don't really buy groceries, like, I feel like it all evens out in the wash. Like,
Yeah.
it really does. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like...
And it gets difficult, especially because, you know, what takes a normal student an hour may take me 2
Right.
to get done. So, you know, I have a lot more to do in not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always like when I'm cooking or something, I'm always just like, I need to be doing this. Like, I need to hurry up and do this so I can do this.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas, like, when I cook, it's just kind of like, I just hope this works, because if it doesn't, then we don't have food and I'm angry. Like, there's just a lot of things where I'm just like, no. No.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that kind of does sum it up. It's very much the way that we cook is a lot by just following the directions that it gives us. Like, relying a lot on times instead of like, oh, it's supposed to look like this. Like, we definitely are just like, it said this much time and here we are.
Yeah, especially with like things where like we get yelled at by people. They're like, that's not toasted. It makes the toasted sound.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you do, because the other thing too is like, you don't like things super toasted. Like,
Well, yeah, it's because of my jaw issues. I know I'm a mess.
Yeah, you are. It's
yeah,
okay.
I'm
But
falling
no,
apart.
to be fair, I don't like things very toasted either, but it's the taste. Like, I don't like that the char taste or like the burnt, well, not burnt, but like whatever that taste is. Like, even when stuff is like grilled, like, and it has the char, like, I'm not a fan of that. I don't
I'm
like that
okay
taste.
with like the char, like the grilled stuff. I'm okay with that. Like toast and stuff where they make it like super dark. I can't. My jaw hurts.
Yeah, I like my toast to be like light to medium toasted. Like,
Light toast.
yeah, you are a light toasted. I am a like light to like a little bit more than light. Not quite medium, but like whatever's in between there. A
Yeah,
schmedium.
I will stand by whoever argues that's not toasted. It makes the sound. When I scrape a knife across it, it makes a sound.
It is toasted.
It is toasted.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of times it's just following the times. Like, this is the time for this, so therefore it is done. Like I said, the meat thermometers are definitely a big thing for us now, is like the
Yeah.
newest thing, I want to say. And then just like for me, for like cutting stuff, just take, like, if I don't have the scissors, it's very much just, okay, just take my time. I take my time because I do not want to chop anything that should not be chopped.
Yeah, listen to her. She does the correct thing.
Yeah, Belle, no self-preservation.
No,
Not
I
an ounce.
can't. I'm like, everybody is like, oh, this is all a joke. No, literally, I cannot be left to my own devices.
No.
I literally, it is the whole like, oh, hot stove. I'm gonna like, it's fine to touch.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. No self-preservation. Burn my hand. Like pour hot water. Get it on my leg. Burn my leg. Ow. That's actually painful. That actually hurts. Hold up the leggings that the hot water went through onto my leg, and I'm just like, oh wait, I need to finish pouring my hot water. Oh wait a minute. So I had to like switch the hand that was holding up my leggings to finish pouring the hot water.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why yep.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of it is just being careful. A lot of it too is, like I said, for the grilled cheese, it's auditory. Like,
Yeah.
I've learned to like listen to what this is doing. Like, so there is ways to get around it, and I know that this isn't quite exactly like how I wanted to go into it. I did want to get more into like the nitty gritty, but it is really hard to explain through like just talking about it. Like, it definitely is more of a like, I would have to show you, and that it probably won't happen ever. But timing is a big one. Just having things that will tell you if things are cooked, like the meat thermometers. And
I feel like the other thing is it's all on the perspective of the person, especially I feel like the other blind people we met. You either have the cautious cookers or you have the ones like me where we're just like fearless. If it happens, it happens.
yeah, the nose, there is the me and there is the Belle. Like,
Yeah.
there is the self-preservation. I'm going to be very, very careful about what I do and like how I prepare stuff. And then there is the Belle. There is no self-preservation. We are just going head first into this. That is all there is to it. That's it. But yeah, I mean, the thing is too, is like, we do bake, I think, a lot more things typically. So like, it very much does boil down to timing, just making sure that it's done.
Or for the most part, I hate using the oven. I hate it. I hate it.
Like the stovetop or
No, the oven.
The oven. Yeah, I'm slowly getting used to the oven.
This is why I'm like, I'll make it. Aria, you put it in the oven. You deal with the oven. I will do everything else. I don't want to touch the oven.
And normally that is kind of how we go.
Yeah,
'Cause it's just
I
like-
hate the oven. I hate it. I think it's because I'm so small.
Yeah.
and I can't get back to see the board, so I'm like, I just need to see the board.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I loved my stove. because
Yeah,
it
you
was
had the nice blind
I
person
had
stove.
yeah, because it was all the controls were like down in the front, so it was very easy to just look down and see instead of it being in the back and you just being like, I can't tell what's going on. What am I doing? Send help. But yeah, no. That's why I know I'm hoping that my stove will be like, it might be hard to find, but it will
We
be
have it.
able. I know we have it, but I mean, like,
Oh, it
for
needs fixed. It does need fixed.
wait, what happened to it?
The glass on the front got cracked.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the guys did it.
Oh well, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Dad thinks he knows somebody who can fix it.
I'm sure he does. He knows everybody.
Everybody knows him.
He knows everybody. Everybody knows him.
His mugshot has to be in the post office.
That is 100% a joke.
Yes, 100% a joke.
100% a joke.
100% a joke. It is a family joke because everywhere we go, somebody
knows.
approaches him and is like, "Are you this person? You look very familiar." So, family joke that
Yeah.
his mugshot's in the post office.
Yes.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. So, yeah. You do get, I think, a feel for it for certain things. And, like, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like, I know you've gotten very good with, like, preparing the Marry Me chicken, preparing your orange chicken. I've gotten pretty good with the different little things that I make that I know how to make. So, you know, the more you do it, the better off it is. And you get just a feel for, you know, how you do this, how you do that, the timing for this, the timing for that. And it just kind of ends up working out, I guess.
It does. It is harder to explain. There are some things that we just do it. So, like, when everybody's like, well, how do you do this thing? I don't know. How do you do this thing? I just do it.
You just do the thing.
So, like, it is a lot harder.
Yeah. And like even with like the cutting, it's like Belle just goes for it. And me, I go for it to the extent of I'm just very careful. And that's why I'm not the best at it, because I am very careful. So
Wimp.
yes, I prefer everything to remain where it is. Thank you. That is my preferred method of life.
Yep. This is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, at least I will say, because when I was younger, I wanted the oven mitts that like go all the way up to your elbows so I don't get burned, because like that's how terrified I was of getting burned. Now I'm to the point where I can do normal ones. Like,
I think for me, I got my first cut. I was like, man, that hurt. Oh, well. Next. And then I burned myself for the first time. Ow, that hurts. Oh, well. Okay, that's done. Then I got my second degree burn. That actually really kind of hurts. Oh, well, I'm not going to the hospital. It's fine.
we're moving on. Next,
We're moving
like
on.
that very much is how you approach life. It's
Literally.
just
So
like,
now it's
pain. Oh well.
yeah, that's literally. And it's everybody, all my friends laughed at me because whenever I actually burned myself, like especially when I gave myself the second degree burn with the hot water, nobody knew it happened
Oh, lol.
because I was dead silent. No one knew it happened until they come in and see my leg and they're like, "What the heck did you do?" "Oh, I burned myself." "Yeah, you should take care of that." "Yeah, how do you recommend me doing that?" Because like that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I haven't been able to
And
figure
so
this
my
out
best
yet.
friend came with me into my bathroom and took the shower head that I had down, and we just put cold water. I cursed.
I was on the phone at that point.
Yeah, and I had
think I
some
did
colorful language. Yeah, everybody else was laughing, and
You're
I
in
had some
excruciating pain and we're just laughing.
Yeah, and I'm just like using some very colorful words. And everybody else is laughing. And I'm like, why did this hurt? Why does this hurt more than the actual burn?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but it doesn't make sense. You were silent for that. And now you're like dying in pain. And I'm just like, it probably, looking back, it wasn't as bad as I was making it.
No, it was bad. No, it 120% was bad. Like, to the point you should have went to see a medical professional somewhere. Like,
Yeah, it did blister, but it was fine.
I think you still have a scar, don't you?
It's better. It's better.
Uh-huh.
It's better.
Uh-huh.
It is better. I swear to God.
Hold on, I have to actually look now.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, that is much better than what I thought it
Yeah.
was. It was very, very scarred.
It was very scarred, and this is
We all
over a
thought-
year of it like healing because I did it in like October
Yeah.
of my senior, like my last semester of college.
Yeah. So it has been over a year.
It's been over a year. It's a lot lighter. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna scar, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, you were like, okay, and I was just like, you know what?
Everybody's panicking that it's gonna scar. You were panicking. It was
No,
gonna,
I
well,
wasn't panicking
You
because
were
I was
more concerned over the blisters.
I was concerned over the blisters.
Dad
and
was concerned it was gonna scar. Mom's concerned it's gonna scar. All my friends are like, that's gonna scar.
I was
Okay.
concerned. Yeah, when it was blistering, I was very concerned. I was like, this is when you should go see a medical professional, because when burns are blistering, that's not great. But after it healed past that, I was just, and everybody's like, it's gonna scar. I was just like, you can get a tattoo there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it was literally just like, it's fine.
It'll
I
be
really
fine.
don't care.
And so yeah, I don't even see where it is, to be honest. So
It's faint. You
It's-
can still see it, and probably sighted people can still see it, but it was a lot worse.
yeah, it was a lot darker than what it currently is.
Now, unless you know where it is and you look for it,
You can't.
You can't see it.
Find it. Yeah.
But also, that same night, I did rescue a stray cat.
Oh, dear.
Yep. And it all started with me and my roommates wanting to watch Coraline.
That's a whole story for another day. Another day, not today. So I think that about sums it up, though, for how we cook. I mean, if anybody has questions, we do have our email linked below. Send an email of stuff and we can do a part 2. Actually, for any of this, if you're like, hey, I don't get what you mean by that, or could you explain this better? We will do that.
Or just overall, how do you do this?
Yeah,
Because,
we
I don't know how I do most things in my life until somebody asks me.
Yeah.
Because I sure don't know.
Yeah. So you can definitely shoot us an email and be like, hey, how do you do this? And if we get enough of a response, we will do a whole episode of how do we do this? And just going over the emails that you guys send. But I mean, if not, it's also something we can just address in our next episode, or at some point. We won't just leave you hanging. It will be addressed, and we will probably let you know in a reply email of just we will address this. Just, we promise we will let you know when we will address it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got, though. So that all being said, we want to thank you for coming along today as we talked about cooking, food in general, how we cook. Of course, if you like what you've been listening to, if you liked this episode, please consider following the podcast and sharing the episode with your friends. It really would help us to grow the show, and we would really appreciate that support that those actions would give. And then, what are we going to be talking about next time?
Ableism.
Oh dear. Yeah.
I'm zen. I'm calm.
You are zen and calm. Yes. So essentially, we want to talk about what that is and just do some research and try to just explain it in a different way, I think, than other people have. And just it's not going to be okay. It should not be anything crazy. It should not be a whole debate thing. It's more just talking about what exactly it is, because even myself as a blind person, I don't quite understand what that means. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this episode in the first place.
Oh yeah, the zen and calm comment, that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully you will join us for that. And so don't forget that it is a blind life, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.